Doing great. Today we are going to see Google Cloud Platform Certification exam model questions with answer. Yes, yeah, we will see the number one question. You have a Kubernetes clusters with one node pool. The cluster receives a lot of traffic and needs to grow. You decide to add a node. What should you do? Option A, use gcloud container clusters resize with the desired number of nodes. Option B, use kubectl container clusters resize with the desired number of nodes. Option C, edit the managed instance group of the cluster and increase the number of VMs by 1. And D, option D, edit the managed instance group of the cluster and enable autoscaling. Yes, we will see the explanation. A will be the correct answer because this resizes the cluster to the desired number of nodes. Option B will not be the correct because you need to use gcloud, not kubectl. Option C, it's not the correct because you should not manually manage the managed instance group behind a cluster. Option D will not be the correct because you should not manually manage the managed instance group behind a cluster. So then option A will be the correct answer. Use gcloud container clusters resize with the desired number of nodes. Okay, next we will go to the second question. You created an update for your application and app engine. You want to deploy the update without impacting your users. You won't be able to roll back as quickly as possible if it fails. What should you do? Option A, delete the current version of your application, deploy the update using the same version, identify as the deleted version. Option B, notify your users of an upcoming maintenance window, deploy the update in that maintenance window. Option C, deploy the update as the same version that is currently running. Option D, deploy the update as a new version, migrate traffic from the current version to the new version. Okay, so we are going to see one by one. A and B will not be the correct because this will make the application temporarily unavailable to users. So option C will not be, and we are going to see the option C. Option C also it's not correct because to roll back you will need to redeploy the previous deployment because the app was overwritten with the same version number. Therefore, this takes longer than a rollback using method D. So D will be the correct answer because this makes sure there is no downtime. You can roll back the fastest. So I am going with, we can go with option D, deploy the update as a new version, migrate traffic from the current version to the new version. So option D is the correct answer. Next we are going to the third question. You need to estimate the annual cost of running a BigQuery query that is scheduled to run nightly. What should you do? Option A, use gcloud query dry run to determine the number of bytes read by the query. Use this number in the pricing calculator. Option B, use BQ query dry run to determine the number of bytes read by the query. Use this number in the pricing calculator. Option C, use gcloud estimate to determine the amount billed for a single query. Multiply this amount by 365. Option D, use BQ estimate to determine the amount billed for a single query. Multiply this amount by 365. So which could be the answer? A will not be the correct because you should use BQ not gcloud to estimate the amount of bytes read. Option B will be the correct answer because this is the correct way to estimate the yearly BigQuery querying cost. Option C, it will not be the correct answer because you should use BQ not gcloud to work with BigQuery. Option D will not be the correct because this will not give the amount billed for a query. So the correct answer is option B. Use BQ query dry run to determine the number of bytes read by the query. Use this number in the pricing calculator. Next we are going to the next question. You want to find out who in your organization has owner access to a project called My Project. What should you do? Option A, in the Google Cloud Platform console, go to the IAM page for your organization and apply the filter role owner. Option B, in the Google Cloud Platform console, go to the IAM page for your project and apply filter role owner. Option C, use gcloud IAM list grantable role project my project from your terminal. Option D, use gcloud IAM list grantable role from Cloud Shell on the project page. So which will be the answer? So A will not be the correct because it will give the organization wide owners, but you are interested in the project owners, which could be different. Option B will be the correct because this shows you the owners of the project. Option C will not be the correct because this command is to list grantable roles for a resource but does not return who has a specific role. Option D will not be the correct because this command is to list grantable roles for resources but does not return who has a specific role. So option B will be the correct answer. In the Google Cloud Platform console, go to the IAM page for your project and apply filter role owner. So option B will be the correct answer. We'll go to the next question, fifth question. You want to create a new role for your colleagues that will apply to all current and future projects created in your organization. The role should have the permissions of the BigQuery job user and Cloud Bigtable user roles. You want to follow Google's recommended practices. How should you create the new role? Option A, use gcloud IAM combined roles global to combine the two roles into a new custom role. Option B, for one of your projects in the GCP console under roles, select both roles and combine them into a new custom role. Use gcloud IAM promote role to promote the role from a project role to an organization role. Option C, for all projects in the GCP under roles, select both roles and combine them into a new custom role. Option D, for your organization in the GCP console under roles, select both roles and combine them into a new custom role. So which could be the correct answer? So we are going to see each and everything. A will not be the correct because this does not create a new role. Option B will not be the correct because gcloud cannot promote a role in organization level. Option C will not be the correct because it's recommended to define the role on the organization level. Also, this role will not be applied on new projects. Option D will be the correct answer because this creates a new role with the combined permissions on the organization level. So for your organization, option D will be the correct answer. For your organization in the GCP console, under role, select both roles and combine them into a new custom role. So next we are going to next question. You work in a small company where everyone should be able to view all resources of a specific project. You want to grant them access following Google's recommended practices. What should you do? Option A, create a script that uses gcloud projects add IAM policy binding for all users email addresses and the project viewer role. Option B, create a script that uses gcloud IAM roles create for all users email addresses and the project viewer role. Option C, create a new Google group and all users to the group. Use gcloud projects add IAM policy binding with the project viewer role and group email addresses. And option D, create a new Google group and add all members to the group. Use gcloud IAM roles create with the project viewer role and group email address. So which could be the answer? So A will not be the correct because groups are recommended over individual assignments. Option B will not be the correct because this command is to create roles, not to assign them. Option C will be the correct because Google recommends to use group where possible. Option D will not be the correct because this command is to create roles, not to assign them. So option C will be the correct answer because Google recommends to use groups where possible. So correct answer is C only. So create a new Google group and add all users to the group. Use gcloud projects add IAM policy binding with the project viewer role and group email address. Option C will be the correct answer. Next we are going to next question. Okay. You need to verify the assigned permissions in a custom IAM role. What should you do? Use GCP console IAM section to view the information. Use the gcloud init command to view the information. Use the GCP console security section to view the information. Use GCP console API section to view the information. Which will be the correct? Option A will be the correct because this is the correct console area to view permission assigned to a custom role in a particular project. Option B will not be the correct because gcloud init will not provide the information required. Option C and D are not correct because these are not the correct areas to view the information. Option A, use the GCP console IAM section to view the information. It is the correct answer. Option A. Next, we are going to next question. You are responsible for developing an ingestion mechanism for a large number of IoT sensors. The ingestion service should accept data up to 10 minutes late. The service should also perform some transformations before writing the data to a database. Which of the managed service would be the best option for managing late arriving data and performing transformations? Cloud Data Proc, Cloud Data Flow, Cloud Data Prop, Cloud SQL. So which will be the correct answer? The correct answer is actually correct answer is B only. So Cloud Data Flow is a stream and batch processing service that is used for transforming data and processing streaming data. Option A, Cloud Data Proc. It is a managed Hadoop and Spark service and not as well as suited as Cloud Data Flow for the kind of stream processing specified. Option C, Cloud Data Prop. It is an interactive tool for exploring and preparing data sets for analysis. Option D, Cloud SQL. It is a relational database service. So it may be used to store data, but it is not a service specifically for ingesting and transforming data before writing to a database. So option B, Cloud Data Flow, it is the correct answer. So Cloud Data Flow, option B, it is the correct answer. We will move to the next question. A team of analysts has collected several CSV data sets with a total size of 50 GB. They plan to store the data sets in GCP and use Compute Engine instances to run RStudio, an interactive statistical application. Data will be loaded into RStudio using an RStudio data loading tool. Which of the following is the most appropriate GCP storage service for the data sets? Cloud Storage, Cloud Data Store, MongoDB, and Bigtable. The correct answer is A only, Cloud Storage, because the data in the files is treated as an atomic unit of data that is loaded into RStudio. Option B and C are incorrect because those are document databases and there is no requirement for storing the data in semi-structured format with support for fully indexed querying. Also, MongoDB is not a GCP service. Option D, it is the incorrect because although you could load CSV data into a Bigtable, the volume of data is not sufficient to warrant using Bigtable. So correct answer is Cloud Storage only. Next, we will move to final question. A team of analysts has collected several terabytes of telemetry data in CSV datasets. They plan to store the datasets in GCP and query and analyze the data using SQL. Which of the following is the most appropriate GCP storage service for the datasets? Option A, Cloud SQL, Cloud Spanner. Option B, option C, BigQuery. Option D, Bigtable. So here we have a lot of keywords here. So query we need to do, and we need to use the SQL also. So obviously the BigQuery will be the correct answer. So option A, Cloud SQL. Option C, it's the BigQuery will be the correct answer because which is managed analytical database service that supports the SQL and scales to petabyte volumes of data. Option A and B are incorrect because both are used for transaction processing applications, not analytics. Option D will not be the correct answer because Bigtable does not support SQL. So we are done with the questions today. So actually that we are doing the associate cloud engineer exam preparation. Thanks a lot, friends. If you are not subscribed my YouTube channel, you can subscribe my YouTube channel so that it will motivate me to upload more videos about the GCP. I have uploaded few demos also. I have created one more playlist. You can watch that playlist, friends. Google Cloud Platform for beginners. You can learn that by watching that video, and you can see this video also for preparing this associate cloud engineer exams. Thanks a lot, friends. Have a great day. Bye bye.